I said it's not so much of where you start, but I think it's more or less better where you end up. Well, it's so much I have to figure out where I need to start at. I'm thankful to be 86 years old. That's one thing for sure. I'm grateful to Almighty God for that. I'm grateful that being a mother of 10, grandmother of 25, great grandmother of 15, I'm grateful for that. So I can't even begin to count my blessings, you know what I'm saying? So what else do I need to say? I'm grateful to Almighty God because without Almighty God, I would not be able to make it. I look back sometime and I think of the times when coming up young, you think you know everything, can't nobody tell you nothing. And I look back at the time and I tell myself, God had to hide me for a special reason. Because some of the things I was doing, I was wild, you know what I mean? That's being a young woman, a young teenager, you know what I'm saying? And today, I can look back at that and see how he, like David said, brought me through the valleys and the shadows of death. But I'm thankful for that. And the reason I say that is because I would like to tell any of the young people now, think. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that Almighty God had to save me. When I look back and see the time that I had to come near death for this or that, I didn't care. I didn't know who God was. I was blind. I couldn't see. I didn't know who God was, but I'm so glad that God knew me. And he brought me through, and I'm grateful. And I tell everybody, most people I talk to, the last word I can tell them, I say, I don't care what you do in life, put God first, and all the other things will follow. So he gave me a prayer to say, and I was saying in this prayer, I said, when I wake up in the morning, I said, thank you, Almighty God. I think about Solomon when he asked what did he want? And he told him wisdom and knowledge. So I think, and I said, grant me, first of all, thank you, Almighty God, for being my God and being my Father. And I said, grant me wisdom and knowledge. Grant me wisdom and knowledge. And order my footsteps. Because the footsteps of the righteous is ordered by God. So when you get up and say that, thank God for God to guide you and lead you, hey, believe it, mean it, and hey, your day will go. Whatever you confront, remember, you put God out ahead of you. So he guides. Yea, do I walk through the valleys and the shadows of death, I shall fear no evil. Why? Because greater is the God in me than anything that's in the world. That takes away the fear. And fear gonna come. Fear will come. Because we're in this kind of world. But you know what? One thing you have to do is put faith in Almighty God over the fear of anything in the world. Because greater is he that is in me than anything that's in the world. And that is what I lean on. Not that I don't have fear. Not that we're not going to run up on ups and downs. We're in an evil society. We're in an evil world. See what I mean? You got many people practicing more evil than they are good. But the thing about it, keep faith. Stand on the word. And he said, lo, I'll be with you always, whose mind is stayed on me. So when I think about that, I override the things. He says, I heard a minister say, it's not the journey. Because you're going to have ups and downs. Life ain't promised you a bed of roses. And even if it did, roses got thorns in them. I don't care how pretty they are. Red, white, blue, whatever they got thorns. Then you say, wonder why roses got thorns in it? That's to remind you, hey, depend on God. Depend on God. To remind you when you get above yourself and think you're doing something on your own. Hey, it's all about the God in you who created you. So keep your mind there and use faith over fear. Because faith and fear do not mix. You can't either, you got to have faith in God or you got to be scared of the things that's under God. So I'd rather say, give me the faith. I got faith in Almighty God. So how come you ain't scared? How come you say that? I have fear. We all have it. I have trouble. I cry sometimes, but you know what? My God is greater than all of that. So I just tell the young people, stand fast. Because this world is fleeting. Don't just anything. Don't just sell your soul to the devil for any cause. It ain't worth it. Do right. That's the main thing. Do the right thing. I tell my grandkids, just do the right thing. You know, do whatever you do is coming back. It's going to get you one way or the other. If you do good, good you get. If you do bad, bad you get. Because that's the way it is. And truth is truth. I don't care what you do to it and now you stuff it down. It rise again. And lies falls apart. My daughter called me, she said, see, God answers prayer. This is God answers prayer. That was one of my hosts that I would meet with him. My daughter, Ma, I said, what? She says, get ready. President Obama coming to town. You got a chance. He want to meet with you. I said, girl, please. I said, oh, that's too long. I said, look, I said, take one of your friends with you. She said, Ma, come on now. You done waited all this time. I said, let me pray about it. I said, okay. I'll let you know in the morning. Call it the next morning. I said, okay, I'll go. I said, be here tomorrow or the next day or so. I said, okay, we can go. And that's how that happened. Beautiful picture of me and the president upstairs. And we met him. That was something that I wanted to do. God blessed me to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the Mississippi Delta, born a sharecropper's daughter. We worked the fields by both the sun and the moon. The end of the harvest brought us no gain. My mother was a church-going woman. My father was a gambling man. But we stuck together as a family. And my mother had 10 kids, you know, I had 10. But we worked it. Coming up, rising up, so you never know, it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. Picking cotton, day and night. See what I'm saying? Want to do it. And I mean, in Mississippi, racism, prejudice, and everything. Yes, sir, no, sir. You know what I mean? I went through it all. I plowed the mules. I remember I walked behind a mule and plowed like a man. I picked cotton. 300 pounds, pulling it in one sack. You see what I mean? But we did it. I rose up out of the cotton field of Georgia, of Mississippi, but I ended up in the arms of the first black president. Just stay your course, and you will make it to your destiny. You will make it. See what I mean? Say whatever God, say we don't have to go around hating and mad with you and scared because you got this and I don't have that. Whatever God's got for you is for you. You know, one thing coming to me is really about the drugs and what's got them going and it's messing up society. I would say to them, I got a poem that I did say, The Attack of the Rock Man. And I said, it's a shame the condition the world is in. There's cocaine and crack on every hand. Everywhere you look, there's cocaine or crack. So, the push is pressing hard on our young people's back. And I don't even need a beat to relate to this. I say, yo, rock man, leave our children alone. They can't even go out or use their own cell phone. Why are you sweating them hard? Stop breathing down their backs. As a mother, and a grandmother, and a great-grandmother, I'm here to tell you, our children don't need no crack. And I said, back on, Rocky. Stop acting and looking like a clown. Wearing sunglasses at night and got chains weighing you down. You say you got banks in all of your pockets. You say your dope mobile, you don't bother to lock it. You got Mercedes and Dodge and low to the ground, stereos in your trunk creating a sound. But everybody in the neighborhood, we know what you sell. You got the double up ticket headed straight to hell. Because you're breaking up homes, you're destroying families. You're a sore on the face of society. You say a dope because you can't find a job. I say you're only teaching our children how to go out and rob. And dude, I doubt if you even want to stop. Inside your pad look like a pawn shop. You got people's TVs and recorders stacked wall to wall. You need 100 sets of eyes just to watch them all. So the lady down the street sold you the clothes off her back, and all she got from you was a $2 crack. Johnny sold his bike on the way to school. Homeboys laughed. They called him a fool. So you know the little fly dame that's been given a plate. She had to earn her rocks from you the hard way. They said 6 months ago she was old, she was fine. All of the rock men, they were standing in line. But those were the days when they had to pay. Now they got her so based out she can't give it away. So I told you once, I'm gonna tell you again. Leave our children alone because you're not their friends. You need to take your rocks, you need to crawl on by. I don't want people to think they would even try. Standing out there beneath the street lamps, got people calling you Rocky. You ain't no champ. You're a loser. You're a user. You're a drug abuser. You're a cocaine slinger. You're a mind confuser. I say, you pardon me if you wanna, because I'm gonna get bold. Because it's time that the truth is finally told. Children, if you did drugs, don't ever forget. It's like a loaded gun, you're playing Russian roulette. 1,000,000 to 1, the odds are stacked. Homeboy gonna end up flat on his back. Flat busted, can't be trusted. Hungry, tired, broke, and disgusted. I said, remember these words, that the rock you chase, that a mind is a terrible thing to base. See the sound of siren, it makes them nervous. What is it? Helicopters interrupting the curbside service? They got a fistful of rocks. They got $20 highs, rushing on our children as they pass by. They paranoid. Their eyes are tweaking. They're gonna suck the pipe till their hearts stop beating. I'm not smiling because you see, this ain't no joke. Everything that you own is going up in smoke. Vandalous, scandalous, getting so bad, you can't handle this. Insane. If you got any pride, open up your heart and check out your inside. The little girls, I mean the ones you jock, I mean the ones you abuse for the monster rock. The little boys, they look up to you, and they trying hard to imitate the things you do. So one day, homeboy, you may have a son, and he may have to pay for all the wrong you've done. And can you imagine how you would scream and shout if somebody took your daughter and turned her out? You want to say life ain't fair, that's just the way things are. If you think like that, children, you'll never get too far. You can lose your soul at the end of a bowl. When the flame hits the rock, that means you've given control to the rock man, the pusher. Say, world, let us wake
up. My name is Joe. I'm Shahida's oldest son, and I'm here in celebration of her 86th birthday.
I'm Karima Mahdi. I am Shahida Khayyam's oldest daughter, and from a big family of 10. To my mom, I would like to say she's always been my inspiration. She's been a sounding board. She's a good listener. She offers excellent advice.
I'm Sophia Bernard, and I am the third oldest in the family. And what I would like to say to you, Mom, is that from an early age, just observing you and your strength has impacted my life from then until now.
So I am Tanetta Khayyam, and which child am I? I don't know. It doesn't matter, somewhere in the middle.
Hi, my name is Hamina Khayyam. I'm the middle child.
My name is Rashida Khayyam. I'm the 7th child of Shahida Khayyam, my mother.
It's almost unbelievable, you know, how much my mom give me so much love. You know, we give each other love quietly. We don't give each other love out like this, but this is something new to me.
I would like to tell my mother that I love her immensely, I'm sure I'm telling her something that she already knows.
Through the difficulties, through the good times, she's a constant inspiration. Now, then, and forever. I love her dearly.
Watching you raise 10 children and work up 2 businesses and still be the strong matriarch of the family and a strong role model and guide and leader for myself and my children has been a tremendous impact and influence in my life.
I'm just grateful to be part of the family that I was born into. I have a wonderful mom. I had a wonderful dad. He passed away.
In reference to my mom, I think that she's wonderful.
There's so many gratification that I have, the wisdom, the knowledge that she had passed on to her children, her generation, which will allow me to pass on knowledge and wisdom to mine.
I think we got our own secrets that we talk about, you know. And I've never been so like I'm emotionally I'm an emotional creature, but I don't know how to be emotionally. I feel kind of weak being emotionally. But I love my mama, and I wouldn't trade her for the world.
She's been a great mother. She's been a great inspiration. And everything that I am, I owe it to the guidance and the respect that I have for my mother.
I was looking for a card for her birthday today. And oftentimes, when I'm looking for a card for her, it's very difficult to find something, even though I'll get a card, but there has never been one to beat her own words. One of the first poems that she wrote for Mother's Day. And it resounds with me every time. I can be in the store reading through the cards and I'll be like, this still is not as good as what Mom wrote.
Just watching you work on your dream and never give up in spite of all of the difficulties, you never stopped. And that has inspired me to continue no matter what.
It's like every other family, you know, where there's arguments, there's making up, there's lots of love, and there's the anchor. And that anchor is my mom, Shahida.
I don't want to cry. You know I'm a crybaby. But she doesn't realize how much I love her. You know, we butt heads, but she's a wonderful person. And I'm very grateful. I'm grateful because she have helped me through she's helped me so much through nursing school. She's helped me through life, period. She feels like I don't value her opinion, but I do. And I'm so glad that we're doing this so that she can understand. Sometimes it's hard to express yourself to the person that, you know, you're in a relationship with, and but she needs to know. And this is a good way for me to let her know that I love her.
She's a very strong woman, and I carry that strength with me, and I pass it on to my daughters and my sons. And the most important thing is what she have instilled in us is the faith in God, to have faith, to believe, and regardless of what you're going through, God will carry you through all the way.
I can call her and talk to her about anything. And if I need something, if she got it, I got it, you know. And that's powerful when she done been through 10 kids, you know. How did you do that?
My name is Shahida. I'm her namesake. She named me after her. I'm the baby. I'm the youngest of 10. And if I have to say what I'm most grateful for outside of her giving me life is the example to be a strong single black woman and raising a generation of successful kids. And we don't have to look outside to find an example of what we should emulate as a black women. We can just look to her.
I've carried it on in my life to all the females in my life. I try to have that same bond and respect that I have for my mother. So, like I say, it's a few things that I get sentimental about, and that's her, and that's how much I love her, and that's how much I'm proud to be her son.
We can start with the first few lines of it because we are all entrepreneurs, so we vend a lot. And we can start reading the first few lines of her poem and give it to me. I got to have it, you know. And that's the way it is with a lot of her writings.
And you've always been there. One thing is just about mommy, it's just always there. And no matter what time, I can call mommy at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 12. She might fuss a little bit, but she was always there to give advice, no matter what.
I look at her as an example for so many reasons. First of all, 10 children, and we all knew that we were loved. That's why I always tell people, you know, people are like, oh, this happened and that happened, but there wasn't, I can't think of a time when I didn't know I was loved. And that, for me, was the most, you know, looking back, you know, that's really important, to know that you're loved. And that's what I will say about Shahida Kayam.
She made me a stronger woman. She made me stand up for myself, speak up for myself.
My mother's strength is what I admire mostly. Along with a lot of things, like I say, she's a writer, she's a motivator, speaker.
I want to tell her I love her, and I always will love her.
Phenomenal mother, phenomenal woman. And so are we. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, that's where we get her from.
So, I love you, Mama, and you know. So, and I think she'll understand that joke.
To give you a sample, the way her card goes, and this is dedicated directly to you, Mom. It says, a tribute to Mother. For the times when I fell down and you picked me up, when I couldn't walk and you held my hand, when my legs were much too weak and you picked me up and helped me stand. I thank God for you, Mother. I thank God for the life that you gave. I thank God for you, Mother, and for the baby that you saved. Of all the things in life we sometimes do forget, I will never forget you, Mother, and I thank Almighty God that we met. I love you, Mom, always, forever, and thank you so much for everything that you've done for me in my life. I appreciate you.
I always say she's a great example, because the other thing, and this is gonna sound, you know, kind of silly, but my mama, she doesn't play around when it comes to her bills. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have people who's like, oh my God, I'm behind on this, I'm da-da-da. She set that example as well. You know, like you take care of your home in every way, you know? And she did that. If she had to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or whatever, but they were all her own businesses, and that also was an inspiration. The entrepreneurial instinct, which Some of us have more than others, you know, but she definitely instilled that in us, that you don't have to go and work for someone else. You can take care of your home, and you can own your own business. And sometimes it's a struggle, but the struggle is worth it.
I love her, and I know I don't tell her probably as often as I should, but I'm just here to tell you, Ma, I love you so much, and I appreciate you.
She has a lot of qualities as a woman, as a lot of qualities just basically by birth, you know. It's the qualities that she have is like a God-given gift, and having that, it just come naturally for her. And I'm just proud to be one of her children to carry on the torch.
Give me a kiss. Oh, that ain't mama. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Do something. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here.
She's always been there for me. Maybe because, and my sisters too. But because I'm the baby, you know, I think I just had it in comparison.
I just want to say that, you know, love you, and you have been a major inspiration in our lives. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
I just think she's a brilliant, wonderful human being. And I think in the world that we live in, you need that, you know, that love, that kindness, that firmness as well when appropriate. And she's all of that. I love you, Mama. I love you, Shahida. And she made all of us feel like we were all her favorite. But, you know, I'm her favorite.
Mom, you're the greatest, and I love you. And I'm so thankful that you've decided to come with me, you know, and live with me. You know, it was kind of rough in the beginning, but we working things out.
You know, words are not enough to express how we feel and how much we appreciate you being in our lives. And so this is a very special day for us to come together and wish you a happy birthday. And just to tell you we love you and we appreciate you so very much.
I love you, Mother, and thank you.
My name is Rashad Bogan. I'm Grandma Shahida, grandson. I can say that honestly, she made me a better man. I can speak for a lot of people in the room as well. She made a lot of people better people. You feel me? She definitely is strong with her words, strong with her. She always lectures somebody, but she always make a valid point. But I love my grandma. I'm happy to be here today to even see her. Everybody can't say that, so I'm happy. So that's what I gotta say. Yeah, too much to say.
I'm Erin. I'm Shad's fiance. I'm thankful for her. She helped me with my kids. She like pretty much whatever I needed, she would help me do. Put them to sleep, put them to bed, whatever. So I'm thankful for that, just for her being a helping hand when I needed her.
Oh, Kareem. Love you, Grandma.
Alright, sit back. I'm Kiara. I'm Grandma Shahida's granddaughter, and I appreciate her a lot. I love her.
Fatima, Grandma Shahida's granddaughter. I love and appreciate you.
All right. My name is Mark, one of the coolest grandkids she has. And I just want to say I love her. She's taught me a lot about being an entrepreneur, how to use my words, how to speak, and not be shy in public. And I think she's done that for a lot of us. So love you, Grandma.
I'm Candace. I'm Mark's wife, and I just want to say that I think grandmas are really special, and I don't have any more grandmas, so I'm really thankful for Grandma and everything that she is to my kids and my husband and me.
Tajuddin Ahmed. I'm one of the many grandchildren of Shahida Kayam that you see here. And what I have to say about my grandmother is her name itself says it all. You know, Shahida Kayam, or Kiam, which is one who is a witness and one who is upright. And not only a witness who's upright, but one who's been established as an upright person. And so when I think of my grandmother, you know, and see everybody who's here and the type of family we have, the offspring that she has produced, the talent that she has produced, the intellect that she has produced, you know, the love that she has passed on to each and every one of us. You know, we all share that spirit of our grandmother. And for that, I love her. For that, I appreciate her. You know, she's one of the realest women you'll ever meet in your entire life. You know, she's gonna tell you like it is. You know, if something's going on with you, she's gonna point it out. And she holds nothing back. So, you know, I love my grandmother for that. You know, and I love her for making all of us better people, and for our family, who is a loving, you know, a very loving family. I know people say, oh, my family is this, my family is that. But I can say it here as a witness, that our family, this family right here, that spawned from Shahida Kayam, is one of the most loving families, you know, on planet Earth. So I love you, Grandma. I love you, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Tajuddin's wife, and I just like to say, Grandma Shahida, she has a beautiful spirit, and you know, she showed me a lot of kindness in her heart, especially the fact that I'm from England. So she explains how it is living in America in her times as well. So I'm very happy to be here. You know, she gives me great advice, and yeah, I love you, Shahida, and happy birthday to her as well.
I'm Zafir Ahmed, and I'm very grateful for it.
Okay, I'll take it anyway. I'm Khalid Kayam, grandson of Shahida Kayam. I'm very appreciative of my grandma. She's always been there whenever I feel down, whenever I feel up, regardless of the situation. She's always been there. And I always appreciated that. She always gave me valid advice, always came through when I really needed her. Even times where she would know that I didn't need her help, she offered assistance and her guidance and whatever she felt like I needed at the time, even if I feel like I didn't. And she opened up my eyes to how I see myself in a different way. And I really, really appreciate her. And I love my grandma.
Well, I guess I got a lot of big words to follow up. I mean, because my grandmother, she's a wonderful person. She's, like everybody says, an inspiration, a guiding light. And the one thing I can say about her is she's a teacher. Like, she might not have a degree in teaching, but she done taught all of us everything there is to know, mostly, you know. But she's a great teacher and a great grandmother, and I love her. Happy birthday.
Hi, Grandma. It's Miriam. Like everybody said before, just an amazing spirit, amazing soul. She's my namesake, so I'm very proud to be named after her, Miriam Shahida. Just a beautiful person all around. We love you so much. And like they said, if you talk to Grandma, you will definitely be getting a story, and I love her stories. So, you know, she'll keep you interested for a while. So, thank you, Grandma. Like they said before, just happy that we came from you and that you are our matriarch. So we love you.
Hi, my name is Raya, and Grandma, I love you. And you know what? One of my first memories of you is actually poetry. So you gave me a really great love for literature. Earliest memory of you was a poem you wrote where you had wrote it for my mother, who would help publish your poetry. And it was just like, I remember, I thank God for you, Mother. I thank God for the life that you gave. I thank God for you, Mother. And that is my earliest memory of you as an individual, you as a poetess. Thank you for passing that love of literature, of poetry, of the arts down to me. I'm so grateful for having you as my grandmother, for knowing you my whole life. And I love you so much, and I hope to spend many more years loving you and learning from your wisdom.
Hi, my name is Walter Bernard. I am one of Shahida Kayem's grandchildren, and I would have to say that she definitely is an inspiration, very wise in her words and authentic. And anyone here, and as well as people who know her, can always say that whenever you are even in the vicinity of her, you can always just learn something. You can always gather information as far as for who she is, the kind of spirit she is, and the strength that she has. So I just want to say, I love you, Grandma. Happy birthday.
I ran into my bedroom and I dialed 911. And I said, please send an ambulance to help me go. I said, someone has shot my son. He was in the United States Marine. He came home on leave because they were going to ship him overseas. And they always send you home to be with your parents in case you get killed or something happened. And he was taken up, he was going to, his job was going to be heavy artillery. He wanted to help protect America. He came home on a 2 or 3 day leave. And he was going to leave the next day. So he got up that morning and I was lying on the couch. I had a premonition that something I just didn't feel too good. I don't know what it is, but God always gives you a premonition. I couldn't have no idea what it was, because at that rate I would have told him don't go nowhere. He walked, he said, Ma, he said, I did a few chores and took out the garbage and did this and that. He said, what else do you want me to do before I go? He said, I'm going around to the house with a friend that came and pick him up on the porch. He said, I'm going to walk around the corner. That was in the next block. He said, I'm going to walk around there and we're going to probably play some cards or something. I said, okay. I said, I can't think of nothing that I want you to do, Greg. Thank you for what you did. He said, okay, Mom. He said, I'm going to see you after a while. That was the last words I ever heard my son speak.
Well, back in 1978, 79, I was about 12 years old, and my brother had came home from the United States Marines on leave, fighting for this country, and he had came home on leave, and one particular day, I think it was September 4th, I was 12 years old, he had came home and he was in for today. He was just in, he was not going back out or anything like that. He had a friend that knocked on the door, and he wanted to play cards, go to a friend's house and go play cards and just hang out. Prior to that, there was a young man that lived down the street, went to this corner to where my brother was murdered, and he was approached by a white supremacist. And so the young man decided to go back and get his gun. And during that time, my brother had left out the house. And when he left out the house, he approached this same white supremacist, the same white young man, which they had a bar, like an all-white bar, white supremacist, KKK, that was on the corner, so if there was no blacks allowed in this particular bar. And so he had saw the three guys walking. He had stopped the car. He was in the car with his wife, and he had said, he had stole his gun, the gun he had to shoot my brother. He stole the gun from his father-in-law home underneath the sink. And so he just wanted to kill somebody. It didn't matter. He wanted to kill a black person. And so when he saw the three young men, they aged around 19, 20, young teenagers. And he said, niggas, he called them the N-word. And he said, why you all not on the farm picking cotton, So my brother looked, and we're very boisterous people. We speak up. We speak up. We speak out. And like, who is he talking to? And so my brother, he stood, he said, get out the car or get out the neighborhood, and the man reached over his wife and gunned down my brother and put a bullet hole in his neck. And during that like I said, it was just a regular day. We were all sitting down watching TV. My mom was sitting on the couch. It was just a normal day. And we heard this loud knock, bang, bang, bang. You know, we get up, Greg just been shot, Greg just been shot. And that's all she wrote. So we get up and we run, and trying to see, where's my brother? Is he alive? Is he dead? We don't know.
When my son walked out and walked going to the next block, he pulls up in his car and said, my son thought he was asking direction. So he walked to the car and said, can I help you? That guy reached down up, he said, hey, where you niggas going? Niggas belong on the farm. How come you ain't in Georgia picking cotton? Then he reached down and he pulls up a gun and points it at my son through the window. His wife was in the seat, passenger seat. He held it over his wife and pointed it at my, and they tell me they had a gun club there too. There was a gun club. That's why he was. I had to come out of. And my son threw up both hands and with the bag back, he said, Malcolm, he said, this guy got a gun. He said, man, run, this guy got a gun. So he bagged back because he had just made it to the alley that leads to back behind my house. So he was trying to back, he's back there. He backed up. And when he thought he had an opportunity to turn and to run or to sit down and do something to get away from this guy, when he turned his back, the guy shot him in the back, shot him in his neck. And my son went down with one shot. He shot him and sped off.
So my mom, she gets up and she runs to the corner. I ran right behind her. At this moment, I'm the eldest person in the house. And I ran behind her and I ran to the corner, and when I saw all the police cars and paddy wagon, not EMS, but a paddy wagon, and it didn't start, and I'm like, I felt so helpless. I couldn't help my brother. I heard him gurgling and bleeding, just bleeding, and I couldn't help him. And so at 12 years old, I just didn't know what to do. He was lying down here. He was just laying, just choking on his own blood. And life was just leaving him slowly, And all I can do is just stand and just look at my brother and just see the life come out of him. And it was very hard. So as I got older, all I wanted to do is help people. So I became a respiratory therapist. You know, so I've been working in a hospital for almost over 20 years, and this is what I do, you know, try to help people live. And because my brother had no help, he had nothing, you know. They looked at him as just another black man, you know, put him in a paddy wagon and hog him off to jail. Type of thing. He had no equipment, no help. And so it's just a sad, and it's systemic racism. That's what it is. You call 911, a black man has been shot, a black man has been murdered, a man who came from the United States Marines fighting for this country. And no one is fighting for him. No one has fought for his life. And it's just sad. It's systemic. 50 years later, systemic racism is still going on. And this is where we are, you know. But I don't stand for anything, you know. We don't stand for anything. And so, again, this is where we are. I don't mean to get emotional. I didn't know that I would get emotional about it, because it happened when I was 12 years old. And it's just like today, I just like seeing him laying down here on this corner, bleeding to death, because of the hand of a racist man, because the hands of someone who has hatred in their heart.
because the hands of someone who doesn't like black people because of the color of their skin. There's so many young black men and fathers and sons and husbands. He didn't get a chance to see his son that was born a few weeks after he died. He didn't get that opportunity as a father, as a husband. And so many people are losing opportunity to live. This is our right. This is our right to live. And no one has the right to take that away.
The guy with my son recognized his face. And what they did, he was in a lineup and he pointed this guy out. And the guy had a record, I don't know how long. And they arrested him. But what happened, that was Chicago. So many people turned out, 26 in California, to this trial. The guy paid, I understand, in my best judgment, he had to do something. They said the guy took a payoff. I mean, the judge, not the judge in Chicago. There were so many people, they moved it out of Chicago, make it inconvenient for people to come out like that. They moved it all the way to Markham, where less people could come because so many people came out. And they only had him on a $100,000 bond or something like that. When he walked in that courtroom that day, he knew that Chicago wasn't selling for that. The judge said, "You're late, and I'll fine you another $25,000. Your bond go up for being late." They took the whole trial out of Chicago and carried it to Markham. And the judge out there, whom I understand was known for taking payoffs, let him go. The next trial was in Markham, found him not guilty. How can you find a man not guilty, riding in his car, shoot somebody that's walking, that asked him could he help him, didn't help? He was just a murderer and he was a Klansman. And he shot my son and told him niggas belong on the farm and took off. And he's known for he's known for having guns. He's known for what he did. And he had a record so long, that's how they was able to track him down. And that's what happened to my son. He was unfree, let me tell you. I said, what did I say? He was unfree to walk on the streets, yet though he lived here. He was invaded upon, intruded upon by one from miles away. My son lied dying, bleeding in the streets where he lived. I said, justice, what now to the murderer do you say? You said justice to him when my son is not free to speak? Or should I dig him up and show the bullet hole pierced through his back? His neck, his back was turned, and yet from a car across the street, a coward fired, and you reached no true verdict yet. Even now, at that time, his blood still stained the sidewalk. The bullet hole still showed there in the wood. And yet the vultures, they still are nesting, seeking to prey upon the good. I said, should the little ones that he left behind, should they be free to walk here? On the streets, I mean the same street where my child used to live. Or should the blood-stained streets be paved again with their blood so young? Let them live. Let the children live. life ain't, I tell you, life ain't everything that it should be. You have the good, bad, and the ugly. It's a fact, exact, and it's realistic. If you slip a trip today, you can become a statistic. You can't sleep, you can't doze, you can't even nod off. Why? Because somebody's looking in the dark with a gun or a knife, and they will take your head off. So even worse, straight up in broad daylight, innocent victims cross fire in a gunfight. Now you can catch a bullet with another person's name on it. They escape, you become a misfit. They say a bullet to the spine got you cruising on a wheelchair. You wasn't even in a gang, you wasn't doing drugs, and it just ain't fair. You've been done in by some banger who couldn't even shoot straight, by some punk thug who would soon become a motor cellmate. Said, but maybe then, said maybe the fool will start thinking when another brother blows him a kiss and start winking. So on the streets, young men, you may be your mama's baby. In the state pen, you become another man's lady. So don't scream, don't cry. You have to remember the time, how you plotted the plot, and you went out and you committed the crime. You sat out there, you think you'll fly, so you're down for what you call a drive-by. A banger needs a rep to become a legend in the hood. So you load the clips, bursting caps straight up to no good. You claim your set, sporting colors you're supposed to die for, which only make you a dumb soldier in a gang war with a death wish. I can take it back to the time when life was more simple. Christians went to church, Catholics went to mass, and Muslims, they went to temples. But today, everybody feels they got juice. Every man for himself, and all our youngsters are running loose. Do you realize how many people had to die so we could be free? And today, you don't even try to learn your history. What are you doing? Are you turning your backs on the dope dealers, the gangsters, the hookers, and the serial killers? A young brother feels he want to make him some quick dough. He gets him a key, rocks it up, and he goes for what he knows. He's out there shaking, baking poison, turns it into gold. He puts it on a pipe, and he think he's in control. You have your mother and your sisters in the bathrooms, losing their morals, their dignity, and dying much too soon. That's the way it is, young sisters and brothers, if you smoke that crack. I don't care if you're young, tight, and pretty. You'll be on your knees or on your back, because ain't nobody out there puffing for free. Young brothers snatching chains, stealing cars, stealing phone, and stealing TV. That's the way it is if you smoke that crack. I can go on. You know, I can go on and on, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Just wake up. It's time to wake up. Because out there, you got nothing but whatever is offered to you out there, it's a death wish. It's a death wish. We're in 2000 now, and you got a choice. Be wise, be strong, keep a strong voice. Think back on the days and the times and the struggle of that old black fist, and refuse to become a victim with a death wish. That is.